appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about the coronavirus and 5 tips to stay positive. So this is obviously a challenging time that we're all going through collectively. And those of you who know me know that I've gone through tons of trauma, profound trauma, and I don't necessarily think going through a traumatic time is bad. I oftentimes think it's pretty good for various reasons. The 2 reasons I'll share why I think it's good is one, and I'll speak from my personal experience, my personal trauma has helped me prepare for times like this. So it helps me to get suited and booted. It's time to bring the guns out because we already know what that's like. When you go through trauma, it strengthens you. So it's not like you're going through a time when it's like, oh my gosh, I've never gone through a hard time. Oh my gosh, mamma mia, I'm gonna die, just kill me now. It doesn't have to be all that. It's when you've had trauma in the past, you know that, okay, here we go again. It's time for me to bring my guns out, and fight with life and not let it bring me down, not let it knock you down, So that's the first reason why I agree with trauma. The second reason why I don't think trauma is bad is because from my personal experience, I've noticed that throughout all of my traumas, it is a time of transformation. Okay, big transformation. It completely has transformed me on every single level, on a cellular level, emotionally, physically, physiologically, socially, spiritually, energetically. Trauma is transformation. So I've chosen to look at my trauma as transformation as opposed to trauma. Now, it's not a time to fall into hysteria. So the one thing that I see happening with a lot of people right now is there's this hysteria going on and it's spreading like wildfire. People start freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, let me wear this mask everywhere I go. I can't, and don't get me wrong, I understand in being cautious. That's very important. It's important to be cautious and to take care of yourself and take the proper precautions to not get sick, not contaminate yourself, and not infect other people. However, when you get to this state of hysteria, you really have to take a step back and question your mental health. And it's not to judge your mental health, but it's to be like, really, is this really necessary for me to be hysterical about, And I would definitely say falling into the trap of hysteria is a way of operating on a lower frequency. It's something that is done with a lack of awareness. It's something that's done with a lack of a higher consciousness, because when you're operating from a higher consciousness, and even if there is hysteria going on around you, even if there is quote unquote trauma going on around you, you're able to kind of see with this keen awareness what is really happening, what is really the face value here. It could always be worse. It really could. And honestly, y'all, we've made it as an evolution thus far, so why not take notes from how people have survived and not fall into that hysteria, but rather increase your awareness to a higher level of consciousness, especially as you're operating throughout these times. Now, so the first tip I'll give you in 5 tips for how to stay positive during the coronavirus is trust, okay? We've made it this far, like I just said. So to freak out to the point where you think the whole world is going to end is very irrational. It's really irrational. And to not operate in the sense of trust shows, again, your lack of awareness, not only in yourself, but in humanity and in Mother Earth. Now, if you look at just from the beginning of time, life continues to go on. The universe is very sustainable. There is nothing that has completely wiped everyone out thus far. So really living in a state of trust and operating and knowing that the universe knows exactly what it's doing. I personally believe that this coronavirus is a time right now for people to basically heal. I think it's a great time to heal right now. I think it's a great time for the universe to heal. I think it's a great time for all of our systems to heal. We're coming out of a capitalistic mindset that's no longer serving ourselves as a collective. It's no longer serving the global consciousness. View this, so this is going to be tip number 2. View this as an opportune time to rest and recharge, okay? It's time to go within. as I was saying, it's time for the systems to be rebuilt. So, like anything, even in nature, when anything is being rebuilt, there is a phase of hibernation, there is a phase of rest, of sleep before the seed sprouts. So, it's definitely time to reset. I mean, a system cannot be recalibrated without taking that time for pause and recluse and the time to recharge. Given that I stated that there are many systems here that are failing, I honestly believe all the systems are failing on every single level. Judicial, the church system is failing, corporation systems are failing, they're just not getting it right. They're living on this hierarchical platform that's no longer serving not only themselves, but it's no longer serving each other, and it's no longer serving the earth. So, given that all of these systems are currently failing, it only makes sense that it is time to reset and recharge. Tip number 3, connect with yourself. So use this as a time to really connect with manifestations, connect with what it is that you want to see the new world like, what it is that you want to see happening within these systems and within Mother Earth, knowing that the earth is suffering, knowing that the universe is exhausted, and knowing that we can't keep operating the same way. So given that you know that, connect with yourself and ask yourself, well, what am I going to do to change things moving forward? How can I help make this a better world? First, starting with yourself. How can you make changes within your being that will offset, and I'll say it again, recalibrate where you were before? Because what was before is no longer working. And I definitely feel like this is a shock to our planet, to our humanity, so that we can be called to go within, so that we can evolve. Because if we're constantly doing the same BS that we're used to doing, like gossiping about people, spending hours watching TV, spending hours on the internet all day long, just feeding ourselves with all of this BS, that's going to not only keep you stagnant, it's going to lower your frequency. But the universe is operating and it's shifting onto a higher frequency right now. And the best way to do that is to, like Michael Jackson said, look at the person in the mirror, start with that person. And I personally struggle with that every day. I struggle every day with, how can I connect with myself more? How can I choose to love myself more? What do I need for myself today that I can give myself today? And it's usually things that are not comfortable. It's so easy to clutter our minds with shopping and going out to eat. I truly think it's a blessing for people to finally sit their asses in their house and have nothing to do, not have this access to get things on instant gratification, and really connect to their feet, ground yourself, be inside your body, connect to areas within yourself that do need healing. Because again, I really think this is happening so we can heal as individuals, so that our universe can heal as a whole. Tip number 4, change. Make the choice to change. Don't continue doing, like I said, the same things you were doing before, and really make the effort to learn the lessons. Because if you don't learn the lessons, then the lessons keep showing up. Okay? And there is a lack of evolution, but the earth is speeding up faster and faster, okay, day by day. And if we don't jump on that bandwagon, and if we don't choose to evolve at a capacity that the earth and the universe are evolving at, then things like this will happen naturally. It's just not in alignment. And so I think that the best way to align yourself with the universe and how it is shifting on a higher frequency is to choose to change. Now, change is never, like I said, it's never comfortable, but it definitely takes action. And what better time to change than when the universe is supporting you right now by shattering everything that you're used to. So many people are laid off right now and panicking and freaking out, and I do believe things will change, but it's incorporating all of these things. It's looking at all the change that's happening, taking a look at yourself, bringing your guns out, trusting that this is okay, and knowing that you can move forward through change. How can you choose to be a better person? And that is going to come from that reset and taking the reclusive time to connect within yourself, within your being, and not constantly looking out for how to feel fulfilled, because it's a false sense of fulfillment that happens when we are looking outside to others as opposed to looking within ourselves. So tip number 4 is to change. Change, and obviously change for the better. This is a great time to, again, set your intentions, set your manifestations for not only how you want the world to be, but how you choose to be moving forward. Tip number 5, use this as an opportune time for self-care. Yes, take your baths, take time journaling, start meditating, start stretching your body, take a walk out in nature, sit in the sun, hug a tree, okay? Connect with the parts that feed your soul, because through self-care, you will be able to evolve. You'll be able to manifest things that you really want. You'll be able to operate on a higher frequency. You'll be able to shift and make that shift in a positive direction. And so I feel like a lot of that will happen through self-care. We've been, again, living in this capitalistic society where it's all hustle, go, 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 go. And that has been a staple for a level of success, a level of achievement, which is false. The universe is not doing that. Earth is not doing that. Plants don't go out and compete with each other and feel like they've won a badge of honor by all that they have done to quote unquote succeed. However, through self-care, it does become easier to look and see what it is that you need to raise yourself to a higher frequency. And through this, through self-care, I think a really big one is taking the time to set positive intentions for yourself, you know, because when times get hard, you do have to push a little bit harder. And it's just the perfect time to set positive affirmations like, I love my life. Life is going great. It will go my way. My dreams will come true. I can get through this. I will make it through. I will persevere. And you can say little things like, I will be a good person in my community, even though the numbers are dropping and dwindling for our social needs right now and how we're recommended to spend time with each other. But through self-care, through caring for ourselves, we'll better know how to take care of others when this does pass, because like everything else in the world, this too will pass. You know, it's not permanent. So drop the hysteria, drop the lower frequency, drop the victimization, and stop feeling really weak. You know, choose to feel strong and know that you have the capacity to handle this, because the universe would never give you anything that you cannot handle. And just one little bonus I'll add to this is I just got back from Haiti, and I'll probably do a whole video on that and what that was about. But I met a really amazing guy who had like this positive energy. His name is Max. Hi, Max. He was basically stating that, you know, because in Haiti, there was nobody with the coronavirus, not even one person. He's like, you know, all these places are shut down and they're dead, you know, they're living with coronavirus and they're suffering. And it's true, a lot of places are suffering right now, but he was like, here, there's life. And it was just so optimistic and so positive that even though I knew I was leaving Haiti to come into the States where we're about to go into quarantine on a national level, I felt optimistic by taking on his perspective. You know, there can be life found in the midst of all of this mess. You can choose to find life because life is within you. That is something that you innately have within your being. So I'm here to tell you, don't feed into all the BS. Don't just sit there and watch all the funny memes of coronavirus for hours and hours all day long, because then you're not using the opportunity to really grow. You know, it's a really good time to grow and to really discover and rediscover how it is that you want these systems to be, what it is that you'll stand for. Once things do go back to a sense of normality, things will be changed. They will be transformed because of this level of trauma. So thank you for listening. Follow my website, www.vanessasolexo.com, and cheers, peace and love, y'all. Until next time.
Like you want me to.